With COVID-19 and economic uncertainty putting a strain on people, those affected are being encouraged to open up about their mental health and to get help early. It's one of the aims of Beyond the Label. That's this year's National Mental Health Anti-Stigma campaign. It'll take place virtually this weekend with dialogues, workshops, and even a concert to raise awareness. Joining us tonight are Brian Poe. He's Senior Clinical Psychologist from the Institute of Mental Health, and also Eileen Chai, a former national gymnast and co-founder of 3am Music Collective. That's one of the groups performing at the concert. Good evening to both of you. Thank you very much for joining us here on Singapore Tonight. Brian, let me start off with you. Can you give us a general sense of what you're seeing with mental well-being in patients in recent years, and what are the possible contributing factors?
Okay, thank you for inviting me to our program. Generally, the mental health disorders that we most commonly see in Singapore, such as mood disorders, anxiety disorders, and alcohol abuse disorder, remain largely the same. But one of the interesting trends that we see in the most recent Singapore Mental Health Survey, published in 2018, showed that there's actually an increase in the lifetime prevalence of mental illness in Singapore, from about 1 in 8 in the previous studies about 10 years ago to about 1 in 7 in the current study. So instead of mental health, we do see a slight yearly increase in the outpatient numbers. But it is important to note that the increase in number not necessarily mean that more people are getting mentally ill. It could mean that more people are seeking help. And I think the contributing factors to this could be due to an increase in the mental health awareness over the years. So with the help of social media, more people are opening up about mental health conditions, especially when you have celebrities, politicians talking about mental health. It can be a very powerful movement. So for example, recently we see some of our MPs doing push-ups to raise awareness for mental health online in different social media such as Facebook, Instagram. And I think with more people talking about mental health and mental illness, this would definitely go a long way with increasing mental health awareness as well as destigmatizing mental illness.
Absolutely. Eileen, if I could bring you in, many people, particularly through this whole experience of COVID-19, may be experiencing some mental health issues, or at least know somebody who's going through something similar, but yet not recognize it. And so I wanted to ask you about your experience when it came to be diagnosed with social anxiety 3 years ago. What did that feel like? What was that like?
Well, this is a very good question, especially during this COVID-19 period, because to tell the truth, it's actually not easy to be diagnosed with whether you are having a depression or anxiety problem, because like even for myself, in the first place, I really didn't know that I had depression and anxiety. It was only because back in 2013, 2015, when I started to always pick a fight with my husband, and my husband was wondering, hey, what's going on? Because at that point in time, I was undergoing a lot of stress from doing my projects and everything. So it really came to a point where at 2015, I really harmed myself and I started to bleed. So and it was during this time then my husband said, well, you really should start looking to see a psychiatrist and to help you solve this problem. So the very fact that my husband was able to see it, because he himself has seen a psychologist before and a psychiatrist before, so he could actually witness what was going on, and I could see my experience that, hey, something is similar that is going on with her, with me, when I was actually going through some form of depression. So especially during this COVID-19, when a lot of people are actually suffering and feeling a lot of stress, it's not easy to figure out. So that means a lot of friends, they really need to be in there with looking out for one another, or maybe on social media, are they writing something that is off the books? Or maybe when you're talking with somebody on various apps like House Party, are they feeling off? Are they okay? It's always good to be there for your friends and see whether there are any signs or symptoms that is going on with whatever that they are saying. right? So this COVID-19 is really a stressful time for a lot of people, and it's not easy to find the signs, but it's good to actually look out for one another.
Eileen, and that is exactly what your husband did for you, and you're very fortunate that you have a loving, supportive husband who asked you, who actually, sort of talked to you about what was going on. How did you feel at that point, though? Because, looking for help is sometimes easier said than done. I mean, did you feel a sense of relief that he came to you to actually make this suggestion?
Oh, yes, definitely. Because back in 2015, when he told me about seeing a psychiatrist or psychologist, I actually was quite adamant. Why will you actually tell me to see a psychologist when I'm actually still running well? I'm not crazy. Why are you calling me a crazy? Do I really need to see a shrink? But the turning point came in 2016 when I actually attempted to commit suicide. But I was very lucky that Ben actually found me. But that was really the turning point, and that was really the wake up call. And I realized that um, I do need to seek help because I am not well. The very fact that I even thought of actually leaving this world is already an alarm ringing, and it really woke me up. But even doing that, I do acknowledge that I need to go and seek help from a psychologist or psychiatrist. But it was not easy to actually get to that point, because even the day when I had to actually make a call to my psychiatrist to make my very first appointment, I was thinking, if I were to start this road, would my friend actually see me as, what, Eileen Chai, that former gymnast? She's actually seeing a shrink. She's seeing a psychiatrist. Is she crazy? Yeah. So these things go into my mind. I was also even thinking that my psychiatrist might even judge me that I'm a useless person. So if he already starts judging me, how am I going to go on with my therapy sessions? But at the end of the day, I did pick up the phone call, really garner a lot of courage, and just made that call and went down. And and it has been an amazing experience ever since. I've been seeing my psychiatrist for 2 years. Through the years, I've been going through certain therapies like cognitive behavioral therapy. I also did seek for spiritual help as well. That helps along the way. That helped as well. And through this, I managed to learn how to control my emotions, learn how to manage my thoughts so much better. But to tell you the truth, firmly, in my opinion, I believe that we would never really be 100% recovered because the brain is a complex thing. But through the sessions, you do actually learn how to manage your emotions and really think through your actions, so that think through your thought process, so that it can help
You're describing
lifestyle that can get better as well.
Absolutely. You're describing such an amazing journey, Eileen. And I really thank you for being so open with us here on Singapore Tonight. And my thanks also to Brian Paul. We really have to have you back to discuss more on your aspect of it. He is a senior clinical psychologist from the Institute of Mental Health, and Eileen Chai there, who is the co-founder of 3 AM Music Collective. And now,